Stewart. Welcome to Pardon My Success.
Get ready, it's the new edition. Your favorite morning meditation. Hey, it's me, pardon my success. I'm a hot mess.
Your Evite event that I just went to recently was so amazing. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a smashing success. Can you tell the good people kind of maybe a little bit of background on like where you started out, and we'll lead to the Evite.
I'm going to go into that, but I just have to say I love your background. I love your hearts. I love all of your energy. It's just fabulous. So I'm really excited to be on the show. So thank you for having me. And thank you for coming to the Evite event, which was, okay, so I froze my eggs when I was 37 years old, and I got 29 of them, and they're locked in a freezer in El Segundo, California. Cool. And as I became closer and closer to figuring out what to do with them, I decided, okay, fertility advocacy is calling my name. So I learned about all these conditions that affect fertility. I just wanted to be an advocate for all of the ways to build families or not. And then I threw myself an egg shower when I froze my eggs, because there are no showers for people like me that are single, that, do want to be a parent one day. And I'm like, well, this is a big step and I'm spending a lot of money. And I'm like, ain't nobody throwing me nothing. So I threw myself an egg shower, and then I decided there should be more of this. IVF showers, adoption showers, surrogacy showers. Mm-hmm. And I was on the Sherry show, the Sherry Shepherd television show on Fox, talking about my egg shower. And I put it out there that there were no invitations for the type of party that I was throwing for myself and friends that were freezing their eggs. And Evite responded to me. And then I partnered with them. We created Parenthood Journey on evite.com. So we have all of the invitations that I just mentioned, including Rainbow Baby Shower for those that suffered a miscarriage before another pregnancy. And Evite are such kick butt partners. They are so freaking dope that they literally called me and were like, so what are we doing for National Infertility Awareness Week? They didn't want to stop the ball rolling from the invitations that we now have on evite.com, over 100 million users. Everybody can see it, Parenthood Journey. So we threw a fertility shower with Resolve, which is the National Infertility Association, and Progeny Insurance, which is a carrier of infertility insurance. And you were there, and Elizabeth Carr was there, the first IVF born in the US. And we were we were that crew. So we had a fertility shower at Evite. It was great.
I love your entire journey. And I also just really respect you as an artist and as a creative, and would love to kind of hear about any of the creative projects that started you out and that you're excited about coming up maybe in the future. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me.
Well, I've been an actor for, 20 years now. My first movie was Guess Who with Ashton Kutcher and the late, great Bernie Mac, and I played his daughter. And then I went on to star in a series called My Boys for many years with Jim Gaffigan, Jordana Spiro. It was really great comedy, and continued to work on The Soul Man and Hot Tub Time Machine and Killing It and a bunch of things. The latest thing that's out now is Obliterated on Netflix, where I get to walk around with a big old gun. I won't tell you what I do. It's been really a fantastic journey. I continue to write as well. I've sold a screenplay called 29 Eggs about the eggs that I froze to Lifetime Network. Yep. I also took this movie to Paramount Plus. So there's things like that. They're changing hands a little bit, you guys. But I'm also behind the scenes, which is really, really dope and fun, because I find in this industry especially, and we've worked together, that you have to wear every single hat in order to stay relevant, in order to continue to have a job. And luckily, I love it. I love telling stories, including my own, about my fertility, about my friendships, all of those things. So if I'm not being hired as an actor, then I'm writing a job to hire myself and others to play in the things that I write. So it's been really great.
I didn't know you were doing so much writing, and I'm so proud of you. That's so incredible. You're doing the darn thing. And not to mention, to be able to cast yourself and your friends and everyone, that's literally every actor's dream. My God. Matt Damon, who? Please. Can you tell us a little bit more about 29 Eggs? How did you start writing that?
29 Eggs came about because my manager Robin was looking to be a single mother by choice. And she doesn't mind me telling this story right when I froze my eggs. And so what happened was, unfortunately, she has something called a unicorn uterus. And what that means is like half of a uterus is created, is inside the body, and there's nothing that she did or her mom did or anything. But what it means is that it would be very high risk for her to carry a baby and possibly wouldn't work, more so than not. And her and I are very, very close, and she was looking for sperm and the whole bit when she got this news. And we were like, oh my God, oh my God. And the tears, they didn't stop. And then here I am with these frozen eggs, and both of us wanted to be mothers, and it's actor and manager just like trying to figure out like the next phase of their life. And I said, Robin, I'm going to do something to heal us. I'm going to write a movie about fertility, and you'll produce it with me, and we will figure out a way to tell our stories within it. And so we sold it to Lifetime and A&E, and then COVID hit. So unfortunately, the movie at the time was shut down. I know, but it doesn't mean that things end there. As you know, in this business, you can sell things and they get resold and so forth and so on. So we're still pushing the film, and we still are pushing those stories. And then hopefully in 2025, I'll be shooting a film tentatively titled Black Girl Christmas, with some major stars. I know, with some major people. So we're hoping that that goes through. The business is like, it's long, you got to keep going. You know how it is.
How are you feeling about the state of the industry at this time?
Well, girl, I was out there with the writers first when the strike happened, because I'm a WGA member. So I was out there first, and also as an actor as well. And, you know, the industry is crawling its way back, but it's very, very fragile. Jobs are not as plentiful, and things still have to find their balance. But I was one of those people that posted online about my residual checks being 56 cents and doing interviews about that, because it's true. We used to be in the industry in a way where you could do a job, and that job could continue to pay for your health insurance and the things that you needed to do. Because when your image and your likeness is being broadcast over and over and over again, domestically and internationally, you should be paid. You're helping to tell that story. And so the strike was a conversation that really needed to happen. New media is a thing. And like, soon they're going to be shooting things on Mars. Like, we have to protect the integrity of our storytelling and the value of it. You know, everyone in every industry should be paid for their contribution in a fair, equitable way. So actors had a spotlight, and that's why people saw it on CNN and things like that. But it goes across every industry with inflation and all the things going on, that we all just have to continue to use our voice, because we deserve to be paid, and there is money out there. So don't let people tell you that there's not, because there is. There always is.
I have been saying that, yeah. The studios are just holding onto their wallets right now because they're scared, because, you know, they've been through some stuff and they feel like they've lost money, and it almost feels like a punishment in some way. You know what I mean?
They're mad at us.
Punishing us a little.
Yeah,
like that's so crazy.
Like, they're so mad at us.
Weird.
It's unfair, because we all, if we just work together, there's an equal piece of the pie for everybody. But, you know, greed is real, and business and corporations are real. And then you have the artists, and it's real. We still have bills to pay, kids to put through college, you know, roofs to put over our head, parents to take care of. So I think acting sometimes, it gets a bad rap as being like this glamorous thing. No, first of all, when you get quotes for a job, whatever number you're given, you can automatically reduce that by 50%. By the time you pay taxes, commissions to agents, managers, stylists, publicists, all of the things that you have to do. Like, it's not, we don't have an option. That money is not really adding up anymore. And so we needed to make a change, and hopefully we'll recover and get back to business where everybody gets a piece of the pie and everybody can pay their bills and continue to tell stories. You know, Betsy Thomas, who is the secretary at WGA, but she was also my showrunner on My Voice, says, you guys, we're not killing cancer, but we are making people's lives with cancer so much better because they can laugh every day. That's the beauty of being an artist, is that you're helping people that need to laugh or cry or relate or feel seen or heard. I mean, I feel like being an artist is being a humanitarian in a way. And so that's why it'll never go away from me.
I absolutely agree. And I also feel like Art and creativity are such human needs for all people, even those who consider themselves like not the creative type. Like you all have something you're creating down deep, you know what I mean? A big part of the strikes and the scariest part of, I think, our future right now is AI and like the development of technology that we don't really have control over. Why are we suddenly leaving art up to artificial intelligence when we have human beings that can be doing it so much better?
I mean, human beings, human stories, human emotion, human realities, you can't duplicate that. And, you know, as a writer, for instance, when I sell a script, it is the intellectual property of the studio now, and they have it. So those characters, all of that dialogue and all of the acts that I created, they own. And so what we've learned is that they've used those scripts to train AI. So they've used our own work against us to train AI how to write scripts. And that thing is smart, but it cannot write with heart, with passion. It can't write with empathy, all of the things that bring writers to their keypads, all of the things that bring actors to a set. AI cannot duplicate human nature, and it can't duplicate instinct. That's something that I always think about when you're on a set as an actor, for instance, and we improv or we throw out a line differently, or we're going through something in our personal life that is reflective of the character that we're playing. In the moment, things happen to us, to the story that can't be duplicated, that a director will see and let the camera keep rolling because something real, something organic is taking place that could change the course of the entire project, the entire story. AI can't do that. It can't walk in and be a human being and feel. And so I hope that we continue to fight against it. I think there's a place for it, and we have to lean in and say, okay, how do we work with it? But I think there should be AI projects and non-AI projects or something. I mean, don't quote me as being the answer,
we need
but
to give
something.
jobs to AI that like humans don't want to be doing. You know what I mean? Let technology do what technology is supposed to be doing, which is improving our lives, not making it worse. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. You just got to keep an eye on it, and you just have to hope that human nature prevails. We have to maintain the preciousness of being alive.
Speaking of creativity and the preciousness of being alive, how do you kind of begin your writing process?
It's always from something that's going on in my life. Like I said, 29 eggs. I gave away my best baby making years to the wrong man, to the wrong relationship. So that movie is about the time that I wasted, and I really needed to reflect on the decisions that I made that created a 5 to 7 year relationship that went nowhere, that had me panicking about my fertility when it was over. So my writing always starts from my own personal experiences. Black Girl Christmas hasn't been shot yet, but Black Girl Christmas started off of a group chat. Like we just had a really funny group chat, and a friend of mine during Christmas gave all of the girlfriends a really good vibrator. Sorry, gotta tell the truth. She's a big celebrity. I won't say her name now, but this thing was adorned with Swarovski crystals and all the things. And while we were all hanging out laughing, this is Christmas, and we have our Christmas hats on and our pajamas on, and she gives it all to the girlfriends, and we're like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And one of them went into the bathroom and used it Christmas morning, and nearly had a stroke because she had it on like the highest setting. Sorry.
That's so funny.
She had it on the highest setting and came out the bathroom like, what? And first of all, we died laughing. And then like 20 minutes later, I was like, I have to write something. Like you can't, that's what I mean, like about AI. Like you can't create an organic moment like that with AI. Yeah. That's human people doing crazy stuff on Christmas morning with a vibrator in a bathroom. A movie be written.
That's incredible. So oh my God.
It was born in my head. So I start from my real life.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. It reminds me of like girls trip, like vibes. Yeah. Major.
Yeah. That's
I
of
love
how
it. I love
It's
it.
really, it's
I love it.
big,
Oh my God.
broad Christmas comedy. Exactly.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So fun. I need more of those. How did you kind of start acting then?
Oh, I always wanted to act when I was a little girl. My mom took me to this theater called Freedom Theater in Philadelphia. And Walter Dallas, I think, was the head of it, if I remember his name correctly. And I wanted to be a child star, and she said no. I wanted to be Rudy on, the Cosby Show. I wanted to do the whole thing. And my mom was like, absolutely not. You are going to be a kid. And if you still want to act, as you grow, I will do everything in my power to facilitate that. And so when I graduated high school, when I was preparing to, she went to all of the schools to find out the best, Juilliard, NYU, SUNY Purchase, and we were calling it Sunny Purchase at the time. It was number two, was second to Juilliard. And I auditioned in New York City at the Fashion Institute for SUNY Purchase, and I got in. And I was this young Black girl from the suburbs of Philadelphia, and they audition hundreds of people, but they only accept 25 a year.
Oh my
And
God.
here I was, I know, and I was accepted. And I remember somebody said to my mom, and I happened to be with her at the time, wow, so she wants to be an actress. That's great. Well, you know what? She may have to find a plan B. You're going to need something to fall back on, because not a lot of people actually survive in that career. So make sure you find something to fall back on. And my mom instantly said, what makes you think she's going to fall? And when she answered that way, Mama Stu, that we lovingly call her, when she immediately defended me and my choice, I knew I had the support system that I needed to make it in this business. And that doesn't mean that it's been easy. It has been the ups and downs, but that's how life is. And I'm an artist. And when you are an artist, in your heart, in your soul, and it runs through your veins, it's just something that you can't give up. Whether you're doing it for money as a career, or whether you're doing it for the four walls that you live in, when you are an artist, art will always drive your heartbeat. And so I continue to be an artist no matter what, whether I'm booked on a job or whether I'm sitting here writing about my friends and their vibrators on Christmas. It's art for me.
No, I totally agree. Especially having different mediums, I think, is like one of the best ways to keep it going, because you need to redistribute sometimes if something gets a little bit too much.
Yeah, exactly. You have to find the places where you can heal your life, your trauma, and where you can help others. And I think art is a great place. Like even with fertility and even Evite that you came to, that was a part of my healing process of that breakup, is like, how do I help other women take control of their fertility future? So I was creative with the script, creative with Warrior Wednesdays, my online show, and found a creative way to pitch to Evite. So, creation is what I wake up with in the morning. It's what gets me through my day. And you know what? You may feel this way too. When I'm not creating, I'm sad.
Yep.
I'm depressed.
Yep.
My life is off balance. I don't quite know who I am. Something's wrong. And just going to a creative space or creating one for yourself for 5-10 minutes, all of a sudden things start to kind of calibrate a little bit more. And I always realize that's my fuel. That's my oxygen. It's my food. It's a way of life that I don't have a choice about. Like, it is in me. And so I have to always answer that call.
Are there any projects that you're working on right now that you're excited to talk about? Or
I wish. Oh my God. I wish. Well, right now I have the privilege and the honor of spending time with my mama, with Mama Stu. And she's not a project. She's a beautiful, loving spirit, but she needs my care right now. Mm-hmm. So right now that is, I'm creatively loving her. Sometimes it's, you take a step back from the business part and I left Pennsylvania when I was 18 years old and I never lived here again. And I went to New York, and then I lived in LA, and I lived this beautiful artist life. And my parents, I'm lucky to say, turned 80 years old. And I came and visited one time, actually during the strike,
gosh.
Because you have to find purpose in moments like that where like everything was shut down. And I could see that I was needed. And I said to myself, like, let me take a step towards being a creative daughter in this moment and make sure that I don't miss all of the preciousness that's within my mom, within my dad. And when when you're needed, you just plant your feet there and you're like, okay, business, you'll be there when I need you. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
finding creative ways. Like today, she told me to write a novel, and she's my inspiration for everything.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
honestly, that helps keep me in the game.
I mean, of course, you are always your social media game. You have your Warrior Wednesdays and everything. Like, how did you kind of start doing that?
Well, COVID, so when they shut down my movie, when COVID hit, I honestly thought this is gonna be like 3 weeks. Like when it first happened, I think we
Yeah,
shut down in LA March 11th on 2020.
yeah.
And nobody really knew what was gonna happen, except one of my producers of 29 Eggs was in Europe at the time, and she told me it's coming and it's gonna be heavy hitting. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, Lisa. And I'm thinking, I don't know. She was right. So when they shut down the film, it was kind of like on pause. It wasn't like a go away thing. It was like, we have to take a break. So I wanted to stay close to the audience I wrote it for and
Mm-hmm.
being creative. I needed to do something to talk to people. And I'm like, well, when you write a script and you know this, you do about 15 rewrites before you
Yeah.
even get to a shooting draft. So I said to myself, I'm going to start talking to patients and doctors and hearing stories because
Mm-hmm.
maybe some of these stories will inspire me to add to this world that I've created for 29 Eggs. And I
Mm-hmm.
started Warrior Wednesdays just on a whim, y'all. So, I mean, my advice would be if something pops into your head, just do it. Don't even think twice. Don't overthink anything. Because I started doing Warrior Wednesdays on a regular Wednesday in my sweatshirt. And the next thing that I know, it's every Wednesday. And the next thing I know, I'm gaining the attention from these national organizations that are now looking at me like I'm this voice in these fertility streets and asking me to host their galas and flying me to New York and flying me over here. And I'm like, how did this happen? And I really feel like that's the best thing that came out of somebody taking away my movie was that I
Mm-hmm.
had this whole other career of fertility advocacy that was born. So once you get an idea, go for it because you don't know whether you believe in God or whether you believe in whatever. I believe that there's a higher power that has a whole journey laid out for you. And when you say yes to things, it starts to reveal itself.
Oh my gosh. I know that you and Niecy Nash are very close. How did you guys start like becoming friends?
That's my sister. I mean, well, it's interesting because if you ask Niecy, she'll tell you like we shared the same womb. Like we didn't, but she will tell you we shared the same womb. So Niecy and I met on a movie Guess Who?
Oh
So
my
that
gosh.
was 2005, and that's where we actually met. She was wearing the flower in her ear back then. And I met her there. I met Sherry Shepherd there, met a bunch of amazing people there. And then, you go on to the next job, right? You don't really know that
Mm-hmm.
person that well anymore. And I kind of saw her here and there, but was always a huge fan of her work. And then The Soul Man, I had an audition for a show called The Soul Man, where Niecy was the lead opposite Cedric the Entertainer. And I was auditioning to play her sister. And so I go in the room and I see Cedric and Sean Hayes from Will and Grace, and I do my audition and they ask me to wait outside in the hallway. And then my agent calls, Melissa calls and says, go to the bathroom. And I'm like, what? She's like, go to the bathroom right now, shut the door. And she was like, you got the job, but I don't want them to talk to you until I make a deal. And I'm like, okay. So I lock myself in the bathroom and I'm waiting for Melissa to call me back. And she calls me back. She's like, all right, you can go out, you can leave the bathroom. I think I was in there for like 45 minutes. And I go down, I'm not
Stop.
kidding, like she's such a kick butt agent. I go down to the stage and I'm like, okay, I'm in this world. I'm about to rehearse. Like I got the job and I'm going right into rehearsal. And this is for like a recurring role. I was on there for several years. And all of a sudden I hear, I guess I can sing it here, but I hear, sister, you've been on my mind. And it's Niecy. And I know the song she's singing. So I sing the next lyric, sister, we're two of a kind. And that was it. And from that point on, we were sisters, and that translated into our life. And we truly are spiritual sisters. And what's amazing is that our mothers are very close friends now. They have their relationship.
Oh.
They travel to see each other. It's so, so sweet. And I mean, Niecy, as everybody knows, is a humongously talented creature, but she's also incredibly giving to artists and actors. And every job she goes on, she tries to get somebody that she knows or somebody that's trying to break into the business a job. And she's very much about bringing other people on board. So we've just remained the best of sisters. I can't even call her my friend. That's my sister all day.
That was your first movie, you said,
Guess
right?
who was my first
And
film,
she-
and she was on it. And we weren't close then. We were, cool. I was more like starstruck.
But
I was like, oh my
yeah.
God, Clean House. You know what I mean? She was on Clean House at the time, and she had the flower in her ear. But we became sisters when I played her sister, and then we just we do everything together. She's the one, everyone, that gave the Swarovski crystal vibrator. I said it.
Oh my God, Queen! Can I put that in here? Is that
You
allowed?
can put it there.
Yeah.
But she's not the one. She's not the
Thanks,
one that went to
Niecy.
the bathroom. I won't give that one up. So I spend Christmas with her. She has a Christmas brunch in the pajamas
that's
every
so
year.
cute. I want to go to Christmas
It's
brunch.
pretty
What? That's
fun.
so tender.
It's really fun.
Wait, oh my God. Wait, is she gonna be in the movie?
I mean, what do you think?
Wait, oh my God. Okay, I'm so
So
excited.
yes, it was written obviously with her in
For her,
great
yes,
role,
yes.
and Sherry obviously was written amongst all of these amazing actresses that I get to call friends and family, and so proud of each and every one of them. And I wouldn't be where I am without them, because we support each other. It's, you see certain things go on in this business, and you can tell when people have real friends and when they don't. And by that I mean people that are going to tell you the truth. Like, I'll say a funny story, but like I remember Niecy was going to the Emmys. Sherry and I accompanied her. It's when she's wearing the pink gown. I think it was When They See Us, and a pink gown and turban. And Sherry walked in with this floral gown and this bun with a top knot on top of her head. But I remember when she walked into the hotel room, Niecy's getting ready, her hair and makeup team are there, and she goes, "Sherry, what the hell is that on top of your head?" And Sherry was like, "What? It's a bun." She was like, it's not good. Take it off. And I was like, this is true friendship. This is true friendship. And Niecy was like, "I will give you my entire glam squad.
You are
and
not
all of the
going
wigs that are along this wall here. Just pick one. Pick one and put it on, Sherry, but do not wear that top knot." It was hilarious. And when I thought about that, and I thought to myself, man, you want to have good friends that are going to tell you the truth no matter what. Because when you look back at some of those pictures, you're like, why didn't y'all tell me? It's like, okay, well, if you're in our friend group, you will be told the truth.
Yeah,
And
you'll
you
know.
will be celebrated for your wins. You'll be celebrated even in your losses. Because I think the true mark of friendship and sisterhood that I have is that just because you got in the arena, we're going to cheer you on, whether it goes your way
Yes.
or not. As long as you don't give up on yourself, give up on your faith that things will work out in your favor at some point down the road, we are always going to be maintaining a sisterhood where we tell the truth, good and bad, top knots or not, but that we also allow ourselves to be broken in front of each other, allow ourselves to be victorious for and with each other, and allow ourselves to even not know what's next, but to know that you're not going into your next season alone. So I have a true mark of sisterhood in my life, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy to be your friend. And
I'm so happy to be I'm so happy that the universe made sure that we met and that we
Yes, me
connected,
too.
because it's one thing to meet people, but it's another thing to connect to their heart and their soul and be like, oh, you're one of me. And that's how I feel about it. With just so much joy and, and just goodness about you, and just a great zest for life. So thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being part of my life, for coming to my event, for inviting me on your show, and just for,
Oh my God.
and I'm so
Thank you
proud
so
of
much for
you.
coming.
I'm so proud of all that you're doing, in
you.
the face of like job changing and all of those things. You have truly like stepped out in front and now have a great thing that you're doing. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And I just want to say on your show, if there's ever anything that I can do to support you, the answer is always going to be yes. It's not even a question. You just tell me. Don't ask me. Just tell me. I need you to do this. And I'm like, I'm right there. Whatever that is. So, you're an amazing person. I love you.
You're amazing. You're an amazing person. And you're incredible. And my free Zoom is running out of time. But you made me cry, and I love you dearly. And this was just the most beautiful show. Thank you so much for coming, Kellee. I adore you. You're the best. And let's talk soon.
Be good,
Thank
honey.
you. Bye. Are you PMSing?